Alright boys, what's going on? It's Clarity and I'm back again with another Altis Life money making guide. Today I'm going to be showing you boys how to do a salt run and the most efficient way of doing it. Now when it comes to salt, there's a lot of confusion on what's the best way to do it and all that sort of stuff. So today I'm going to make a video on how to do it and the proper way and most efficient way of doing it. So if you use my method, you'll know you'll be getting the most out of your salt runs. Now I will say this is a pretty long run to do. So if you're going to be doing it in like a hammock box or something like that, or any other truck, it is going to take you a while. That's why a lot of people tend to do salt runs in big helicopters like Mohawks, or if you can afford it, a Huron. If you can't afford any of these helicopters, then not to worry, just do it in a truck because it's pretty safe, but it is going to take you a lot longer, especially with the method that I'm about to show you today, which you kind of have to use because it's the best way to do salt. Anyway boys, the things you're going to need will be displayed on screen now. As you can see, I've left off the pilot license and also the prices of the helicopters. This is due to the fact that this guide will mainly be aimed at beginners if they're looking to be doing salt. All you experienced players should know the prices anyways. So once you've done that, spawn in Athera and travel down to Athera airport, where you can then get your truck out or your helicopter depending on what you have. After you've done that, you're going to head up to the UNMC lands just outside of it, where the salt mine will be, and you can mark that up with left shift and click. Now I normally recommend against this, but if you're going to be doing this in a heli, I recommend getting your 25k out ready for your processing license now, so we can fly straight over. Once you're at the salt mine, simply get out your vehicle, whether it be a truck or a helicopter. I recommend a helicopter if you can afford it, because of how long it takes. Head over to the little salt place here, hold down the Windows key, and you should begin picking up your salt. When you have a full backpack, press T on your vehicle to open up the trunk and transfer all your salt over. Go back and fill it up again. Once you've done all this, head up to the salt processor just up here in UNMC lands. If you're in a helicopter, just fly straight over. If you're in a truck, go to the UNMC checkpoint just here and role play with them if they're there. If they're not, then open up the gate and go straight through. Now when you arrive at the processor, you can scroll wheel on this little iPad or whatever it is, and you can buy your license here and then you can begin to process your salt. So make sure at this point you've got your 25k so you can buy your license. Okay, after you've processed all your salt in your backpack and your helicopter, as you can see here, normally you'd open up your map with the letter M and you'd go down to the salt exports, and this is where a lot of people go wrong, because they'd go straight to the salt exports and then they'd just sell the salt and that's it, they'd think they were done. So what you should actually do whenever you're doing any salt runs is, instead of going there, you actually head back to the salt mine, and this is because the salt actually weighs 3, and then when you refine it and you process it, it actually weighs 1, so it's 3 times lighter than the salt that you pick up off the ground. Because salt is such a long journey up here to the UNMC lands to process it and all that, you may as well head back to the salt mine and pick up your salt, or however much you can fit in your truck at that point. Go back to the processor, process it, go back to the salt mine, get some more salt, then go back to the processor and process it again, and then head to salt exports. Because it's such a long journey, you'll be making 3 times the amount of money doing it this way than you would if you just did it the normal way, which a lot of people do. Now there's been a lot of misinformation going around saying, you know, you need to just do your normal run. Well, with a salt, you don't do a normal run like you would with anything else. You need to make the journeys back because of how light the refined salt goes compared to the normal salt. So yeah, just keep doing this little journey and I'll see you when I'm all full. Okay, so now that my backpack and my vehicle are completely full with refined salt, so this is the processed salt, I'm now going to open up my map with the letter M and head down to salt exports, where I'll then sell all of my refined salt. Now the trips to and from the salt mine and salt processor is what makes this run so long. However, in my opinion, it needs to be done because of the amount of journey and time you're taking to travel up here anyway. Right, I'll just skip this little bit forward and I'll see you when I'm at salt exports. Once you're here, get out your vehicle, lock up with the letter U, and run down this little pier. There should be a little iPad at the bottom. All you need to do is scroll wheel on it, select the shop, and sell your salt. This bit should be pretty quick when it comes to selling your salt because of how much you can hold in your backpack, because of how light it is. But still be aware, because people do like to set up here and try to rob you. So just be very vigilant and careful, and keep that in mind. Once all your salt's sold, head up to the nearest ATM, which is just up here when I'm running to now, so you can have a little look at that. Bank your money and sync your data straight away. So as I say, salt is a very long run to do, but it is very profitable, because if you was to do it in a Hemmet box, I'm pretty sure it's around the 1.1 to 1.3 million mark, I think. So it does pay off, and it is reasonably quiet as well. So if you're a new player and you're looking to make some big money, and you don't mind spending the time going to and from the processor and salt mine, then I recommend you doing salt. Anyway boys, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you liked it, then give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, then subscribe. And guess I'll see you boys in the next one.